What's up, guys? It's your boy Ty, back with another review, and today we're going to be reviewing the Insta360 Link. Alright, and we're going to be going over this webcam because I wanted to test it out. The Insta360 Link is one of the top rated webcams for 2022, and I wanted to see if it was worth it. Right now, you guys know I use my Logitech C920X HD Pro for most of all my YouTube content. That's the camera I've been using, so I wanted to go ahead and upgrade, tax write-off, right? But I wanted to see what an updated camera could do. So the Logitech has been out for a while, but this one, it has promise because it's the new thing and it's setting a new standard for all webcams. So I decided to test it out. And we're not going to get into the unboxing because I already opened it. But inside the box, you'll get this little beauty, and it looks like this. I already have it hooked up, and of course I bought the stand with it too. And the size of it, it's about the size, is smaller than the palm of my hand. Alright, you know, is not that big at all, but it's definitely some merchandise that you want to take care of, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool when you open the software up and you start the camera up, you'll get this little action here. You see how it just jumped up, and it is a gimbal, so it moves, it moves, it moves. So let's check out what the camera looks like, and I'm gonna go over some of the features. Alright guys, now you're seeing footage coming straight from the Insta360 Link, and it looks pretty decent. The Insta360 Link has a few features, and we're going to go over some of those features. I showed you guys the gimbal, and the gimbal is definitely useful because it's going to keep your camera straight. Like, I've bumped my desk a few times and it's still straight on. And one of the key features that I really like this feature, is the hand gestures. You can do a lot of things with the hand gestures of the Insta360 Link, like this. If you hold up your hand like this, you should see it blink. It just blinked, and now it is auto tracking me. And if you are using the software that comes, the Insta360 Link controller, you can do all of this from that. But if you're not using that software and you still want to be able to access the auto tracking and things like that, you can use the hand gesture with whatever recording software you want. And again, it's pretty dope. Me and my boys were playing with that earlier, and they really got a kick out of it. But now let me line up where I want to be. All right. And now we're going to go down the features of the Insta controller. Again, you can do all of this stuff from that. You also can use Whiteboard Mode. I don't think I'm ever going to use that, but you get little markers and you get to place it on a whiteboard and let it zoom in on the whiteboard. It has an overhead mode, but you have to have the right type of stand for that overhead mode, so you can prop it up and then just point down at something. And then it has desk mode. Desk mode looks, I don't know, do I want to show y'all my desk? Let me see what it look like. Yeah, desk mode isn't for me. Desk mode, it points it down at an angle to your desk, but you gotta have a big desk, I guess, to have that desk mode. Or if you're trying to do an unboxing, I figured that would be useful. I have a lot of plans for this camera with things like that once I want to unbox something, so I don't just be in front of my computer. Like I said, if you have those type of projects and things like that, that overhead mode and even the desk mode would be really good for you. Especially if you are someone that does a lot of unboxing. And on the Insta360 Link controller, you have a gimbal control where you can move the gimbal how you want to. And then you have the typical settings, you know, the exposure, the white balance, brightness, contrast, saturation, and sharpness. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I had to play with it a little bit. You guys saw what my Logitech looks like, and I don't really do too much to that, or maybe because I have been using it so long, I know my perfect settings I go to. But when you plug up the Logitech, it kind of looks pretty decent. You just got to tweak a little things like the saturation and stuff like that. I had to really play with this camera. I do a lot of my videos at night. That's why it looks like this right now. Is nighttime. I had to play with it a lot to get the look that I really wanted. So just know that you might got to play with the settings a little bit, but don't think that it's a bad camera because you're not getting the right settings. If you want to know the settings that I'm on, like right now for this, I have negative 0.5 EV for my compensation. I have the temperature at 4,500 K, brightness at 56, contrast at 50, saturation 100%, sharpness 100%. So this footage is in 1080p and it's pretty good. I don't have the capabilities to be able to see the 4K and see what it looks like. I can switch it to 4K mode, but it really wouldn't do me any justice because when I switch to 4K mode, it just looks pixelated and I can't tell if it's a good video or not. So if you want to have that 4K ability, you have to make sure you have the right things for that 4K ability. If you aren't up to date with the latest 4K display and things like that, that 4K might not do you any justice. But if you are up to date, it's ready for you. You just gotta have your stuff up to date because this is a relatively new camera. Then also in the more settings, you have the other hand gestures, and they do have a nice breakdown on videos and tutorials on how to use these hand gestures. I showed you guys the auto tracking. There is one with the zoom feature where you're supposed to hold your hand up like this, and then you can go up and down to zoom in and out. But I really haven't been, oh, there we go. I still need to play with it. Because it's not really working like I want it to work. And then of course you gotta do a piece for the whiteboard mode, but I don't use that. And you can change the tracking speed to normal, fast. I got it on normal because I like when it slowly comes with me. It makes it feel a little more natural. All right. And you also can mess with the AI zoom. Right now I have it on half body, but if you're someone that wants your full head, it can zoom right in on you. What's up? How you doing? You only want to talk about whatever you're talking about and see just your head. You can do that with a lot of TikTok videos or something like that, where you just want to solely focus on you. I should have had it on head for this whole video. I don't know. I like it. But the half body isn't too bad either. Those are the two I'm going to use. They also have a full body mode. It has a anti-flicker. I have that on auto. It has a camera focus, and I got the camera focus on auto, and I like the camera focus. One of my biggest gripes with the Logitech was that, I guess because it is kind of out of date or something like that, sometimes it would be really hard to get focus or get back in focus, or for it to change with the lights and things like that. With the Insta, so far my camera and lighting hasn't changed at all as I've been doing this video. Like I said, with the Logitech, sometimes I was noticing that if I move a certain way, next thing you know, my whole camera looks different, my backgrounds looks different, and I had to change up the settings, the saturation, and all of that. I shouldn't have that problem with this, being that it's an updated webcam, but I haven't had those problems, and that's a good feeling, because sometimes I had to restart the whole video when I was doing it with my Logitech just to get the right settings, so the balances and stuff will come back right. So I can say that it's autofocus. The Insta360 Link's autofocus works very well, and it has a HDR mode. I haven't used that. Right now I'm on streamer mode, and it does pretty decent on streamer mode. That HDR mode that they're talking about, let me show y'all what it looked like. If I switch to that right now, it looks like this. Now, is this better or worse? So it automatically went to, I guess, what they thought was the best solutions, and it doesn't look bad. Oh no, look at me. But if you want to customize exactly what you want and how you want it to look, you can turn it off. And now I'm going back to the settings that I set. I kind of like my own settings a little bit better than the HDR mode. If you know how to play with your settings, it'll work. And like I said, this is the look that I want for my video, so I can pick it out exactly as I want when I play with my own settings. But you can turn that HDR mode on, but to me it's overrated. I know I've seen the little pictures, they acting like that's a big thing. It's kind of overrated. And then you got mirror mode, firmware. You gotta make sure you update your firmware so you can have the latest and greatest. Alright, and another mode that I'm gonna be using as soon as I can is this. Please don't pay attention to, the light above, but this mode right here. When you switch the camera, up and down, at the up and down angle, it goes vertical, and you can make videos like this. These videos would be probably perfect for TikTok. All right, so that's vertical. Just look at this. If I do that and then go to more settings and just go to head mode, come on, zoom in, man. What are you doing? I could do videos like this, zoomed in, perfect for TikTok, right? Do a quick couple videos, just you seeing my head. It looks like it's already primed for TikTok, right? Man, I can create a lot of content with this in a little bit of time. Easy. I'm pretty sure y'all gonna see some content with me in this camera right here. But yeah, mode. So my final thoughts, is the Insta360 Link worth it? I would say yes. It's the type of camera that can grow with you. It has great quality, and if you are already on board with the 4K, have everything you need, you can get excellent quality from this camera. And I'm talking about, it's pretty good. So good that right now it's nighttime, and again, it looks great. I can cut the light off. How it look? It still looks great, right? So you can use this camera however you want. You guys can tell, you see the focus and everything. As I turned the lights off and turned it back on, it was still pretty good. I have to say, I like this camera. I do have a few gripes with this camera, and I had to learn it. And if you guys go into it knowing it, you can be prepared for this, and it might not even be a big deal for you, depending on your editing software. So you guys saw, I came from the Logitech C920 XHD Pro, and that camera is pretty old. So the software I was using was kind of out of date. And what I mean by out of date is when you start converting files and things like that and needing to mesh up different videos so you can edit, you have to have up-to-date things because people make files in different ways. So the Insta360 Link, it saves files, recorded files, as AVI files. So the software that I was using wasn't able to import those videos. So I had to change up the software that I was using because I needed to upgrade. It was overdue, so I did not mind. And you might not have a problem with this if you have up-to-date software. But that's something that I had to do because, again, the Insta360 Link saves files as AVI, not MP4. All right, so just something to take to mind. So those are the only things that I would say watch out for with the Insta360 and be prepared for it. But it's definitely a great camera that trips me out every time. It's a cool camera, great camera, and it's setting a nice standard for the next level. So Logitech, of course, is, and you still can get good quality out of that. But if you want to step into 2023 the right way, go ahead and check it out. And let me know what you guys think about the picture. And I appreciate y'all checking me out. Another review from Ty. Peace.